and everybody was scared to talk about it because he'd have him killed.
Joe Rogan has had enough. On his podcast, he exploded with rage at two of the biggest names in entertainment, Leonardo DiCaprio and Sean Diddy Combs. Rogan ripped them both apart, exposing what he called the dark truth about their friendship, their behavior, and the infamous parties that have now become evidence in a growing scandal.
Probably not public information yet, but who's the person that's number one on that invitation list?
Leonardo DiCaprio.
Leonardo DiCaprio is voting for Kamala Harris. Has nothing to do with the Diddy
Yeah,
parties.
when you guys are talking,
nothing to do with the Diddy parties. He's endorsed Kamala Harris because of climate
what do you
change.
think
then
about
did you
that?
see him? He's on a yacht and then on a private jet. Literally
so
like
smart.
last week.
Yeah.
Do you know Diddy won a lawsuit against that alcohol company?
Ciroc?
Ciroc.
Yes.
He won like $1 billion deal, and once that happened, then this all came out.
And it's Leo. You're like, damn it.
God damn it.
Leo struck again.
Well, if she's over 30, you don't even have to worry about Leo.
Not over like 23. Yeah, 30. 30 is
like
like
what I
over
saw.
the hill.
Remember the photos of Jeff Bezos and his girlfriend,
Would she
Leonardo
like the
DiCaprio? Yeah, she was like smiling at him, and then Jeff Bezos like was joking around about pushing him off a cliff. Like,
Yeah.
they're like, you don't have to worry about her, bro. She's 50.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you could see you could see her doing like the cost benefit analysis, like Leo or richest man in the world.
Y'all remember that actor Leonardo DiCaprio? Well, Leo is somebody who has been long documented as somebody who really enjoys going to some Diddy parties. But he be saying that he only went to the white parties, not the freak-offs. Bruh, you sure about that? I mean, it could just be me, but this kind of looks pretty sus. It's just a whole bunch of dudes on a bed, and you got your skinny little white boy legs out there. Like, what's really happening? Can we get somebody who's better at science than me to measure the distance between Leo's junk and Diddy's mouth? And what are these other dudes doing? Like, I swear to God, that dude is making straight up love eyes at him. And Leo be looking real happy and real relaxed right here. I mean, I don't know, is it just me or does that scream some weird stuff happened? Let me know in the comments.
Once upon a time in Hollywood, nearly 3 hours long, Leonardo DiCaprio attended the premiere, and by the end, his date was too old for him. So...
For years, Diddy's name has been whispered in connection to shady, secretive gatherings where the rules of decency disappeared the moment the doors closed. But what stunned Rogan's audience was his claim that Leonardo DiCaprio, Hollywood's golden boy, the face of Titanic, the Oscar-winning environmental activist, was part of it too. You can't tell me, Rogan said, that DiCaprio didn't know what was happening. You don't get to show up at those parties, smile for the cameras, and then play dumb when it all comes crashing down. You're part of it. And now the whole world knows the outburst sent shockwaves through fans, who suddenly had to question everything they thought they knew about DiCaprio. Rogan began by dissecting Diddy's empire. This guy built his career not just on music, but on manipulation, Rogan said. He made people feel like they needed him. If you wanted success in the music industry, like if you wanted access to the lifestyle, you had to go through him. And that included his so-called parties. According to Rogan, these gatherings weren't just harmless fun. They were tools. Diddy used them to control people, to get leverage, to pull others into his orbit. That's how predators work, Rogan raged. They make you feel special for being invited. They put you in situations where you can't back out. And once you're in, they own you. For years, countless names have been tied to Diddy's world. But Rogan emphasized one that shocked everyone, Leonardo DiCaprio. Leonardo DiCaprio has always hidden behind the mask of privacy, no social media, rare interviews, a carefully polished image of a brilliant actor who avoids the chaos of celebrity gossip. But Rogan shredded that illusion. This guy, Rogan said, his voice shaking with anger, was right there. He was at those parties, he was involved in Diddy's world, and don't try to tell me he didn't know what was happening. Leonardo DiCaprio has been in Hollywood for decades. He knows how this game works. If you're in the room, you're part of it. Rogan went further, accusing DiCaprio of hypocrisy. This is the same guy who lectures the world about saving the planet. He takes private jets to climate summits and gives speeches about responsibility, but behind the scenes, he's hanging out with Diddy at parties that should never have happened. How do you reconcile that? You can't. It's hypocrisy at the highest level. Rogan described the parties as a symbol of everything rotten in the entertainment industry. He didn't give graphic details, but he didn't need to. His words painted a clear enough picture of manipulation, corruption, and control. These weren't normal parties, Rogan spat. They were power plays. They were about who Diddy could bring in, who he could compromise, who he could control. And Leonardo DiCaprio, this world-famous actor, this supposed role model, he was there. Smiling, enjoying the perks, going along with it. Rogan's frustration wasn't just about DiCaprio attending. It was about the silence that followed. He never said a word. Not one word about what he saw. Not one warning to the world about who Diddy really was. Instead, he protected himself, stayed quiet, and hoped nobody would ever find out. Well, now it's out, and he's crying because his image is shattered. The fallout online was immediate. Fans who once idolized DiCaprio felt betrayed. "I defended this man for years," one post read, "but if he was at Diddy's parties, then he's not the person we thought he was." Memes exploded across platforms showing DiCaprio next to Diddy with captions like, "Tell me again about saving the planet," and "From Titanic to Toxic." The betrayal was personal. People who grew up watching him in Romeo plus Juliet, Titanic, and Inception now felt like they had been tricked into worshiping someone who wasn't so innocent after all. Rogan fueled this fire saying, "It's not just disappointment, it's betrayal." Fans thought DiCaprio was above this stuff. Turns out he was just better at hiding it. Rogan also pointed out the eerie silence from Hollywood. "Where are all the celebrities now?" he asked. "Where are the directors who called Leo the greatest actor alive? Where are the co-stars who sang his praises? They're quiet, and you know why? Because they're scared their own names might come up next." Behind the scenes, insiders whispered about DiCaprio's involvement. Studios debated whether to distance themselves. Activist organizations worried about keeping him as a spokesperson. For the first time in decades, DiCaprio's career didn't feel bulletproof. Hollywood protects its own until it can't anymore, Rogan warned. And once the dam breaks, all the secrets flood out. Rogan argued that Diddy and DiCaprio weren't as different as people thought. One was a music mogul, the other a movie star. One built an empire in hip-hop, the other in Hollywood. But both thrived on power, access, and exclusivity. "Don't let the tuxedos and Oscars fool you," Rogan snapped. DiCaprio was just as drawn to that lifestyle as anyone else. He wanted to be part of the inner circle. He wanted the perks, and now he's paying the price for being too close to Diddy. Rogan's rant ended with a question that stunned his audience. What will history remember about Leonardo DiCaprio and Diddy? "Here's the truth," Rogan said. "It won't be the music, it won't be the movies, it won't be the awards or the billions. It'll be the scandal. It'll be the tears, the hypocrisy, the exposure. That's what sticks, and they did it to themselves." He paused, then delivered his final blow. Legacy isn't about fame. Legacy isn't about money. Legacy is about character. And when the world sees who you really are, your legacy is finished. The collapse of Diddy's empire was already underway, but now Leonardo DiCaprio is being dragged down with him. Their names are linked forever, not because of their achievements, but because of their downfall. For Rogan, this is the ultimate proof that no one is untouchable. Not Diddy, not DiCaprio, not anyone who thought they could hide behind fame forever. And as the truth spreads, one image remains clear. Leonardo DiCaprio, once the golden boy of Hollywood, now exposed. Rogan didn't just stop with DiCaprio and Diddy. He widened the lens, pointing at the entire culture of celebrity worship that allowed this to go unchecked for so long. "This isn't just about two guys," Rogan said. "It's about a system that protects people like them." Hollywood and the music industry have built walls so high the public can't see the truth until it's too late. And when you finally do, it's uglier than you imagined. He explained how the celebrity machine works. Carefully managed PR campaigns, lawyers on speed dial, and friends in powerful places. They hide behind this machinery, Rogan said. so they can smile for the cameras and pretend everything is perfect while behind the curtain it's chaos. And that's why DiCaprio could sit there at those parties with Diddy and think nobody would ever find out. He thought he was untouchable. He thought his image was bulletproof. But Rogan reminded his audience of one thing: no image survives forever. You can fool people for a while, but the truth always comes out. And when it does, it doesn't just crack the image, it shatters it. For years, DiCaprio's career has been celebrated for consistency. He was the actor who always delivered, who refused lazy roles, who chased artistic credibility. But now, with his name tied to Diddy, those choices feel hollow. When you see him in Titanic, Rogan said you don't just see Jack Dawson anymore. You see the guy who was at Diddy's parties, you see the hypocrisy, and that's the kind of stain you can't wash off. Fans have started digging through DiCaprio's past with new suspicion. Moments once brushed off as quirks, his obsession with privacy, his avoidance of questions about his personal life, his pattern of surrounding himself with a loyal inner circle, now feel like red flags. Was it privacy or was it strategy? Was it about keeping a personal life sacred or was it about hiding connections he didn't want exposed? Hollywood insiders are already whispering that DiCaprio's reputation as the untouchable actor might not survive this. It doesn't matter how talented you are, Rogan said. If the audience doesn't trust you anymore, your career takes the hit. And right now, people don't trust Leonardo DiCaprio. While DiCaprio's reputation is crumbling, Rogan argued that Diddy's empire is outright collapsing. For years, Diddy thrived on secrecy and control. He built his brand not just on music, but on being the man behind the curtain, the one everyone had to please. But Rogan pointed out that once one person cracks the wall, others follow. The second people realized they could talk about Diddy and survive it, the floodgates opened, Rogan said. Now it's testimony after testimony, document after document, and it's not stopping. What makes this worse for DiCaprio is that his name is tied to someone already going down in flames. It's one thing to have your own scandal, Rogan explained. It's another to get caught up in someone else's. Because now you're not just fighting to save yourself, you're chained to a sinking ship, and that ship is Diddy. Rogan ended his rant with a warning that echoed across the industry. If you think you can hide in the shadows while guys like Diddy run the show, think again. The truth is coming for everyone, and if Leonardo DiCaprio can get exposed, anybody can. The warning wasn't just about accountability. It was about a cultural shift. Fans aren't content with surface-level images anymore. They dig, they share, they hold receipts. The same tools that built DiCaprio's myth, the internet, global media, constant exposure, are now the same tools tearing it apart. As Rogan said, the era of untouchables is over. If Diddy can fall and if DiCaprio can be dragged down with him, then the whole system is next.